You've spent a lifetime taking care of others, raising families, building careers, holding everything together. But what if I told you the quietest room in your home, the one you visit several times a day, might be the most dangerous? Every 17 minutes, a senior suffers a stroke in their bathroom, not from slipping, but from habits. Simple everyday routines that silently wear down the brain, strain the heart, and push your body past its limits. Today, I'm going to walk you through 4 hidden dangers that no one talks about, not even your doctor. These are the things that nearly took down Eleanor, a 73-year-old grandmother from Ohio, and they may already be affecting you too. So stay with me, because what happens in your bathroom doesn't always stay in your bathroom. Before we begin, I'd love to know, what city are you watching from? Type it in the comments below. And while you're here, give this video a like, share it with someone you care about, and hit that subscribe button for honest, calm, senior-centered advice that's made just for you. Habit number 1, the dangerous strain and how it almost killed. Harold never saw it coming. At 76, he still considered himself sharp, capable, and independent. He prided himself on walking to the mailbox every morning, reading the newspaper cover to cover, and doing his own grocery shopping. A widower grandfather of 5 and retired electrician Harold had faced tougher things in life than a little constipation. So when his morning routine started getting more difficult, slower, more uncomfortable, he chalked it up to getting older. Nothing serious, just the usual struggle. He'd sit down, lean forward, clench his fists on his knees and whisper, "Come on, let's go." He pushed harder. He waited longer. What Harold didn't realize was that this simple habit, something he'd done for years without thinking, was slowly pushing his body toward a stroke. And he's not alone. According to medical research, nearly 40% of adults over 65 experience chronic constipation, and most of them strain during bowel movements. But very few understand what that's doing to their heart, their brain, and their long-term health. Let me explain. When you bear down on the toilet, especially when holding your breath, you're performing something called the Valsalva maneuver. It's the same pressure technique pilots use to clear their ears mid-flight. But when done regularly and forcefully during bowel movements, it becomes dangerous. Here's why. That push you think is helping, it actually triggers a surge of internal pressure in your chest and head. Imagine trying to blow air into a balloon without letting any out while also squeezing your stomach muscles. This moment of strain causes your blood pressure to skyrocket, often by 60 to 80 points instantly. If Harold's usual resting pressure was around 130 over 80, that pressure could jump to 200 over 140 in just seconds during a hard strain. That's the danger zone. And for seniors, it's even more serious. As we age, our blood vessels stiffen. They're no longer soft and flexible like when we were younger. Instead, they become more like old garden hoses, prone to cracks and ruptures under pressure. And when blood pressure spikes like that, especially repeatedly, those fragile arteries in the brain are at risk of tearing, bursting, or becoming blocked. That's when strokes happen. But that's not all. This habit also decreases the amount of blood returning to your heart. For those with heart disease or even undiagnosed high blood pressure, that strain can also trigger heart attacks or cause dangerous arrhythmias. In Harold's case, it started with a spinning feeling. One morning after 10 minutes of pushing, he suddenly felt lightheaded. The room seemed to tilt. He saw stars. Then his chest started pounding like a drum inside his ribcage. He had to brace himself on the bathroom wall to keep from falling over. What he experienced is called defecation syncope, a temporary loss of consciousness due to a sudden drop in blood flow to the brain. Thousands of seniors are rushed to the ER every year because of it. Many don't make it. Think back for a moment. Have you ever felt dizzy after straining on the toilet, or seen little flashes of light in your vision? Maybe felt your heart race or a wave of heat rush over your body. Those aren't random, they're warning signs. Your body is trying to tell you something isn't right. And the good news is, you can do something about it. Let's talk about solutions. because small changes today can prevent massive problems tomorrow. First, hydrate. Drink more water throughout the day. Most seniors are mildly dehydrated without knowing it. Aim for around 6 to 8 cups of water daily, unless your doctor says otherwise. It's the simplest way to keep things moving naturally. Second, increase your fiber intake, but do it gently. Add more leafy greens, oats, berries, and beans to your meals, or talk to your doctor about a fiber supplement that's gentle on your stomach. A consistent fiber routine can transform your digestion in just a few weeks. Third, change your position. Try placing a small footstool in front of your toilet. Elevating your feet slightly helps straighten your colon, making elimination easier without the need for straining. It's a small trick that mimics a more natural squatting posture. And finally, be mindful of time. Avoid sitting on the toilet for long periods, especially with your phone, a newspaper, or tablet. Limit yourself to no more than 5 minutes. If nothing happens, get up, walk around, have some warm water or light movement, and try again later. Harold made these changes. He started drinking a glass of warm lemon water in the mornings. He added a small fiber chew after dinner, and he bought a $15 footstool online. It's been 3 months since he last felt lightheaded in the bathroom, and he says he finally feels in control again. I didn't realize how much damage I was doing, he told me, but now I feel safer, I feel smarter, and I'm not afraid of my own bathroom anymore. If you're listening to this and thinking, that sounds a lot like me, you're not alone. These things creep up quietly, but awareness is power. Comment below and tell me, have you ever felt dizzy or lightheaded after straining on the toilet? Don't be embarrassed. Your experience could help someone else recognize the danger, and you just might save a life. Habit number 2, the hot water trap. What almost took Margaret down in her own shower. For Margaret, her morning shower was sacred. It was more than just a routine. It was her quiet sanctuary, a place where no one called her name, where her body could relax and her mind could wander. At 75, with arthritis in her knees and stiffness in her lower back, she found deep comfort in heat. The hotter the water, the better. She turned the dial all the way to the right until the bathroom filled with steam, the mirrors fogged, and her skin flushed pink. It felt like heaven, but it was quietly setting her up for something far more serious than soreness. And one morning, that long, steamy shower nearly cost her everything. Here's what most people don't realize, especially seniors. Hot water triggers a powerful reaction inside your body. It causes something called vasodilation, a fancy term that means your blood vessels suddenly open wider. That's why hot showers feel relaxing. Your body thinks it's safe, so it lowers your blood pressure fast. But here's the danger for older adults. Those quick drops in blood pressure can become life-threatening. Margaret's heart, like many her age, had been working a little harder these days. Her doctor said her vessels were stiffer now, less elastic, less responsive. That's normal with age. But when she stepped into a shower heated to 110 degrees Celsius, her blood vessels dilated rapidly, like a garden hose doubling in size. And just like with any hose, when it expands too fast, the pressure drops dramatically. Her heart panicked. It tried to pump harder and faster to keep up, to make sure her brain still got the oxygen it needed. But for those critical few seconds, Margaret's brain wasn't getting enough blood. That's when everything started spinning. The shampoo bottle blurred. The tile shifted beneath her. Her knees gave way and she reached for the wall just in time to prevent a fall. Margaret sat on the shower floor, dizzy and breathless, for almost 10 minutes. Her heart was pounding, her chest felt tight, and her skin was lobster red. For hours afterwards, she was nauseous, weak, and confused. What she experienced was a transient ischemic attack, a mini-stroke. A temporary loss of blood flow to the brain, often a warning sign that a full stroke could be just around the corner. And she's not alone. Medical studies show that seniors who regularly take showers over 104 degrees are 250% more likely to experience cardiovascular events, including strokes, heart attacks, and sudden falls that lead to fractures or worse. Why? Because the combination of heat, steam, and enclosed space overwhelms an aging circulatory system. Most seniors already have slower blood pressure regulation and less cardiac resilience. For Margaret, the symptoms were subtle at first, a little dizziness here, a fast heartbeat there. But the real danger, she never connected those warning signs to her beloved hot showers. And that's the trap. It feels good, so we assume it's harmless. But the body of a 30-year-old doesn't respond to heat the way a 70 or 80-year-old's does. That's just physiology, not weakness, not failure, just facts. So what can you do to stay safe without giving up your daily comfort? Here are 4 simple life-saving changes. 1. Use a shower thermometer. Don't guess. What feels comfortably warm can often reach unsafe levels. A shower-safe thermometer lets you check the water temperature before stepping in. Keep it below 100 degrees Celsius to protect your blood pressure and your brain. 2. Time your showers. Avoid staying in a steamy bathroom for more than 10 minutes. The longer you're exposed to high temperatures, the more your vessels stay dilated and the harder your heart has to work. 3. Improve ventilation. Make sure your bathroom has proper airflow. Open a window or turn on a fan to reduce humidity and keep oxygen levels normal. Enclosed steam-filled spaces increase cardiovascular strain. 4. Add safety features. Install grab bars in your shower or tub. If you ever feel lightheaded or unsteady, having something to hold on to can prevent a devastating fall. Consider using a shower chair on days when you feel particularly tired or off balance. Margaret made all 4 changes. She ordered a waterproof thermometer online for $12. She set a timer on her phone to remind her when 10 minutes were up. And her grandson helped her install a grab bar and a small vent fan in her bathroom. But what surprised her most, cooler showers weren't just safer, they were more energizing. She said her brain felt clearer, her heart didn't race anymore, and her fear, the one she never said out loud, started to fade. I used to be afraid of falling in the shower, she told me. I just didn't admit it, but now I feel in control again. I didn't have to give up my comfort, I just had to learn what my body needed at this stage of life. And maybe that's the most important takeaway. Aging doesn't mean giving things up, it means adjusting with wisdom. So if you've ever felt dizzy after a hot shower, if your heart races afterward, or you've had to sit down because the room felt like it was moving, you're not imagining it. You're experiencing the very signs that Margaret missed until it nearly cost her. Comment below and tell me, how hot do you like your showers? Have you ever felt lightheaded or flushed afterward? Your story might be the nudge someone else needs to protect themselves. Habit number 3, the sudden stand-up. How one quick movement nearly ended. Caroline's independence. Caroline had always been steady on her feet. At 79, she still drove to church on Sundays, volunteered at the animal shelter on Thursdays, and cooked her famous chicken pot pie for the grandkids every Friday. But one quiet morning in the middle of her bathroom routine, a single simple movement nearly took all of that away. She stood up too fast. It's something we all do. You finish your business wipe flush and rise without thinking twice. But for Caroline, what happened next felt like her world collapsing in slow motion. 2 steps from the toilet, the room tilted. Her vision darkened. Her knees buckled. And she fell straight back, hitting her head against the toilet tank with a crack loud enough to alert her downstairs neighbor. When she came to, there was blood on the floor, a deep gash on the back of her head, her tailbone throbbing. But the real danger wasn't the fall, it was what caused it. Caroline had experienced something known as orthostatic hypotension, a sudden and dangerous drop in blood pressure that happens when you stand up too quickly after sitting or lying down. Here's how it works. When you're seated, especially for several minutes like on the toilet, gravity pulls blood down into your legs. That's normal. But as we age, our bodies become slower to respond. Your heart and blood vessels take longer to push that blood back upward to your brain. So when you stand up fast, your brain is left hanging, starved of the oxygen-rich blood it needs to stay conscious. That's why some seniors feel dizzy, lightheaded, or even black out for a few seconds after rising. And it's more common than you might think. Over 30% of Americans over age 70 experience some form of orthostatic hypotension, most without ever being diagnosed. The bathroom in particular is a high-risk environment. Why hard tile floors? Tight spaces, no soft surfaces, and often no one around to help. Caroline was lucky. She didn't suffer a stroke. Her hip didn't break. But the incident shook her to her core. It wasn't just the fall. It was the fear, the realization that her body was changing, that something as routine as standing up could steal her freedom. But here's the truth. This isn't about fear. It's about awareness. Because there's a simple way to prevent what happened to Caroline. It's called the 3-step safety method, and it's something every senior should know. Step 1, pause for 30 seconds after you're done. Stay seated. Breathe slowly. Give your circulation time to catch up. Step 2, scoot to the edge of the seat and sit up tall. Pause again for 15 seconds. Let your body start adjusting to the position change. Step 3, stand up slowly over 10 full seconds. Use a grab bar if needed. No rush. Let your blood pressure normalize as you rise. These 55 seconds could mean the difference between standing up confidently or winding up on the floor. Caroline made these changes. She added a grab bar next to the toilet and even placed a small reminder note on the wall. Take your time. You matter. It wasn't about moving slower, it was about moving smarter. Today, Caroline still lives independently. She still drives, still bakes, still volunteers. But now every time she stands up, she does so with grace and patience, knowing her body needs just a little more care than it used to. And maybe that's okay. Have you ever stood up too fast and felt dizzy or off balance? Comment below and tell me what that moment felt like. You never know, your story might help someone else avoid a fall they never saw coming. Habit number 4, the midnight rush. How one night nearly took Louise's life. It was 2:17 a.m. when Louise sat up in bed with that familiar urgency. At 81, nighttime bathroom trips had become routine, 2, sometimes 3 times a night. She didn't think much of it. Like most seniors, she chalked it up to aging, a side effect of medications, maybe too much tea before bed. So that night, like every other, she pulled off her covers and stood up quickly, eager to make it to the bathroom and get back to sleep. But within seconds, the world changed. Her head pulsed, her vision blurred, and a crushing pain exploded behind her eyes. She stumbled into the hallway, grabbing the wall for support. Her left arm began to tingle. Her heart pounded so hard she thought it might burst. She was having a hypertensive crisis. Her blood pressure had spiked to 210 over 120, and she didn't even know it. That bathroom trip almost became her last. Here's what most people, especially seniors, don't realize. Nighttime is one of the most dangerous times for your heart and brain. While you sleep, your body loses fluids through your breath, through your skin, even if you don't feel it. This mild dehydration makes your blood thicker, harder to circulate, and for seniors, that matters a lot. Now add in the medications many take at night: blood pressure pills, diuretics, sleep aids. These reach peak potency while you're resting, and when you suddenly go from lying flat to standing upright, your body has to adjust fast. But it can't. The result: massive blood pressure swings. For Louise, all those invisible factors collided in one dangerous moment. Dehydration medication affects darkness and sudden movement. Her heart tried to pump thickened blood through narrowed vessels in a matter of seconds, and her brain couldn't keep up. She was lucky. She recognized something was wrong and sat down, immediately calling 911 from the hallway floor. Paramedics arrived just in time to stabilize her. The ER doctor told her the truth. You were minutes away from a stroke. Louise had no idea. No one had ever warned her. But she's not alone. Up to 80% of seniors wake at least once per night to use the bathroom. And many, just like Louise, do so in the dark, half asleep, dehydrated, and in a hurry. Doctors refer to the hours between midnight and 6 a.m. as the danger window for senior strokes. Why? Because that's when our bodies are most vulnerable to pressure swings and help is often far away. So how can you protect yourself without sacrificing your sleep or your independence? Here's what Louise does now and what you can do starting tonight. 1. Keep water beside the bed place. A large bottle of water on your nightstand. Drink 4 to 6 ounces before getting up for the bathroom. This helps thin your blood-easing pressure on your heart and brain. It also gives your body the hydration it needs to circulate smoothly. 2. Add motion-activated night lights. Install sensor lights along your bedroom floor, hallway, and bathroom. No more walking in darkness. Your path should be lit automatically the moment your feet hit the floor. It's a simple step that prevents both falls and disorientation. 3. Pause at the edge of the bed. Before standing, sit upright on the edge of the bed for 60 seconds. Let your blood pressure adjust. Breathe slowly. Feel your body wake up. Then stand slowly and deliberately. Take your time. 4. Review your medications. Ask your doctor or pharmacist if the timing of your medications could be adjusted to reduce nighttime effects. Sometimes simply shifting a dose earlier in the evening can lower your overnight stroke risk significantly. Since Louise made these changes, her nights are peaceful again. Her blood pressure has stabilized. She sleeps better. And most importantly, she no longer dreads those midnight trips. I used to rush, she says. Now I rise with purpose. And that's the message. You don't have to give up your routine. You just have to slow it down. Respect the way your body works now, and it will respect you right back. Have you ever felt dizzy or unstable during a late-night trip to the bathroom? Comment below and let us know what that moment felt like. Your experience might be exactly what another senior needs to hear to stay safe tonight. 3 months ago, Helen felt like her body was slipping away from her. She was tired of feeling dizzy in the bathroom, tired of clutching the shower wall for balance, tired of waking up in the middle of the night, heart pounding, wondering if the next trip to the toilet would be her last. But today, Helen is a different woman. After learning the hidden risks behind her everyday habits and making a few small but powerful changes, her blood pressure has stabilized at a healthy 125/78 numbers she hadn't seen in over a decade. No more sudden spikes, no more pounding in her chest, no more terrifying moments of blurred vision or lightheadedness. Her sleep has improved dramatically. She wakes feeling refreshed, not drained. Her energy has returned. Her anxiety is gone. Most importantly, she's no longer afraid of her own bathroom. She no longer rushes, no longer pushes her body beyond its limit. Every movement, whether it's standing up, reaching for the faucet, or walking down the hallway, is now done with purpose and calm. Helen told her doctor about the changes she made. He flipped through her blood pressure log, eyebrows rising with each reading. Then he leaned back in his chair and said something she'll never forget. In 30 years of practice, I've never seen blood pressure improve this fast without medication changes. Helen smiled, not just because of the compliment, but because she knew she did this. And so can you. The truth is, aging doesn't mean losing control. It doesn't mean giving up. It just means learning to work with your body, not against it. Helen's story isn't special because she's lucky. It's special because she took action. Now she moves through her days with confidence. Her daughter says she seems lighter. Her grandkids say she laughs more. And Helen, she says she finally feels like herself again. And that's worth everything. You don't have to wait for a wake-up call like Helen did. You don't need a fall, a hospital visit, or a terrifying moment in the dark to realize your body's asking for something simpler: patience, awareness, and care. Because it's the small things you do today, how you rise, how you breathe, how you move, that protect the freedom, dignity, and independence you've worked a lifetime to build. If this video opened your eyes even just a little, please give it a like. Share it with someone you care about, a spouse, a neighbor, a friend who might be one midnight trip away from a dangerous fall. And hit that subscribe button to stay connected to honest, calming advice made just for you. We'd also love to hear from you. Have you ever felt dizzy, weak, or unsteady after using the bathroom or stepping out of the shower? Leave a comment below. Your experience could help another senior feel seen and maybe even save a life. You're not alone. You're not powerless. And you are not too late to take control. Let this be your beginning.